No one likes the truth, LOL.
Well, let me paraphrase George Carlin on this one as like, everybody likes the truth until you start telling the truth about them. Then you're an asshole. Good morning, everybody! Happy Canada Day! It's July 1st. We are celebrating freedom in a country that still understands the concept of personal freedom. We're actually going to have a very special sale over on Spectre Digital with discounts on everything. Going to have a few details on that in a few minutes. But anyway, this is my show where I answer your comments and questions to the best of my ability. It's SMG viewers' comments about you, not me. So let's get right to it, shall we?
Consequently, the court stated that Gibson had suffered no actual damages and awarded Gibson just $4,000 in counterfeiting statutory damages. In a new statement marking the end of the 2-week-long trial, Gibson called the ruling a win for the company and the music community at large. The court found that Gibson trademarks are valid, the Gibson shapes are not generic, and defendants were guilty of both infringement and counterfeiting, the company writes. Gibson is very pleased with the outcome after years of simply trying to protect their brand and business through well-recognized intellectual property rights that have been Gibson's for decades.
Wow, that's quite a mouthful. So Gibson spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on a lawsuit to win $4,000. On the surface, that looks like a great big fucking joke, kind of like Gibson's quality control. But unfortunately, that might have some ramifications for the guitar community at large because Gibson might start going after a lot of other companies for so-called trademark infringement. Let's see if it shuts down or not. My temperature warning light has come on my brand new FX3. I need to shoot with this. Let's see if it craps out or not. Let's see if the fans kick in. Yep, fans have kicked in. We'll see what happens. See if it overheats in here or not. Anyway, so yeah, that's kind of got me scratching my head. Is Gibson just going to start suing the living crap out of everybody for copyright infringement? Or more than likely, are they just going to go after the small builders? Now, I had a conversation the other day with Henning Pauly. We were talking about a company that built an offset V. It wasn't LTD, but I'm just illustrating the point here. This guitar is incredible, by the way. Gibson sued them and won. I can't remember the name of the company offhand, but Gibson did take them to court over copyright infringement or trademark infringement or whatever the hell you want to call it, based on their traditional V design, and won. So I don't know, if I was a guitar builder right now, I'd be very fucking nervous about things and really start to think outside the box when it comes to guitar shape, because the big corporate giant that is Gibson is probably going to come after you. It's a shit time to be a guitar builder, unfortunately. And I think that puts things in a weird juxtaposition right now, because we've got CNC machines which allow us to build extremely high quality instruments for not a lot of money, and you're seeing all these awesome builders and whatnot, but you've got this old school corporate behemoth that doesn't want to, compete in terms of quality. They just want to put everybody out of business the good old fashioned American way with lawsuits.
We need this guy to come back and talk about Gibson's recent victory over Dean. Here's a quote from Gibson's rep, which will definitely not make your blood boil. Gibson's guitar shapes are iconic and now are firmly protected for the past, present, and future. From a broader perspective, this court decision is also a win for Gibson fans, artists, dealers, and related partners who expect and deserve authenticity. Not to mention for all the iconic American brands that have invested meaningful innovation and continued protection, only to see it diluted with unauthorized and often illegitimate knockoffs. Gibson can now focus attention on continuing to leverage its iconic past and invest in future innovation with confidence.
Let me guess, those future innovations gonna have dual humbuckers and no other options? Just a thought. I don't know. Maybe you guys should innovate a new fucking paint shop while you're at it. Maybe think about that. Unfortunately, I think that trademark court has handed down a giant shit sandwich, and if you're a guitar fan, you're undoubtedly going to have to take a bite sooner or later.
I can't wait to hear your take on the Gibson lawsuit ruling. I need you to express the rage I'm currently feeling at that garbage company.
Well, getting mad about it's not really going to help. Here's the thing. Ultimately, the entire control of the situation is up to you guys, the guitar players, the guitar fans. If you don't like the way how Gibson is operating their business, there's a real simple solution to that. Don't buy their products. That's the great thing about a free market. You are free to make that choice. Now, and for those of you guys out there who think, legacy branding and iconic and all the rest of the bullshit marketing that goes along with it, just remember, it's all just made up out of nothing, really. I mean, the only reason any of those guitars have value is because you give them value on the resale market. And if you say, you know what, I don't think I want to be part of that, that diminishes their value. And to see what I'm talking about, that market economy effect, all you got to do is look back a couple years to the start of the pandemic, when people started buying toilet paper and hand sanitizer. They were going to buy up all the hand sanitizer and start selling it off on Amazon at a markup. And unfortunately, Amazon caught wind of that, and the guy who spent all that money was out of it. And rightfully so. The same effect can be applied to guitars as long as you guys don't fall for the bullshit. Oh, it says Gibson, therefore it's quality and has value. As long as you don't fall for that crap, don't worry about it. Go buy from somebody else, especially if you don't like the way how Gibson conducts themselves business-wise. Fortunately, in a free market economy, we still have that choice. Who knows for how much longer, though, if Gibson starts knocking out some of their competitors in the courts.
Within the last minute of the video, you got it for me. If they do a V, then I will consider a purchase, as I'm really not interested in anything if it's not a V from any company. Here's to hoping.
Hey Eric, thanks so much for chiming in. Of course, that's circling back on the Harley Bent review I did on the Goto series. And these are phenomenal guitars for the money. Who knows how much longer these are going to last. Yeah, just super fun guitars for like $260 US. I mean, like, it might cost you a couple bucks to get it shipped to the States, but it's probably well worth it. But just circling back on that, I have been talking to the guys at Thomann about possibly doing an Amarok Flying V. And the first thing they said was, hey, we don't want to get sued. And I'm like, well, let's do a slightly different design and maybe see what we can come up with. Now, I'm probably going to be at Thomann Gearhead University in September, so I think that's going to be one of the videos I'm going to do there. Is I want to sit down with the Harley Benton design team and see if we can come up with an awesome Amarok V shape for the masses and just make that accessible. Whether or not it will ultimately happen, you know, that remains to be seen. Again, free market economy, it comes down to you guys. If there's a demand, they will probably build it. So here's hope.
I do not recommend bringing laptops to gigs. Specialized gear such as the Axe FX is far more reliable. Also, laptop costs and no audio interface costs. So it's not just $45. This VST is pretty cool, but it can only do what one knob gives you. It's fine if that's all you want, but if you want more, this ain't it. I use my FM3 as an effects processor for guitars and vocals too during gigs, and I use a tiny Seymour Duncan power amp into a real cab. It's the best of two worlds. Okay,
sounds completely reasonable. A couple people have been asking me to check out the FM3. As far as I know, the fractal stuff does sound really fucking good. I'm not debating that at all. Yeah, that was the whole point about the amp knob there from Butthurt Digital I reviewed there a few weeks back, is if you don't know what you're doing when it comes to recording guitar, this takes all the heavy lifting out. All you got to do is turn up one knob. That's it. You don't got to add any post EQ. You don't got to do any roll-offs. Nothing. One knob. It's real fucking simple, guys, and it will sound fucking great, and it'll give you a good idea of what things are supposed to sound like in a mix. And that's kind of, you know, I think a lot of us need to realize is that, you know, a guitar by itself sounds a certain way, but it needs to sound another way for it to work in the context of a mix around drums and bass. And shit, you just gave me a great idea for a fucking tutorial. That's a video I need to make. Okay, I think I know what I'm gonna do in a couple days. About the laptop thing, it's like, yes, if you're a PC user, I would agree with that because they're fucking unstable, they can crash, and the last thing you need is Windows to start updating right before your gig. I mean, like, I've seen that happen at critical times. I remember before I started doing YouTube, I was actually on a film crew, and I helped shoot a movie. And on the premiere night, you know, the director's son came in with his laptop. They were going to play the movie off the computer. When he fires up and Windows starts updating for an hour and a half, and there's a room full of people there with their arms folded like, what the fuck's going on? However, there is a solution to that, and that is one of these. This is the new MacBook Air M1. There's no fans. It's super light, and, you know, it's not going to crash on you. The operating system is absolutely rock solid, and that's going to get you all your amp models, all your effects, everything you need. And the great thing is you can run your interface off bus power. Oh yeah, did I mention that the battery lasts like, I don't know, what, 14 hours on this thing? It's something insane. Really, really cool piece of gear. You know, and that's the thing, it's probably going to be more reliable than your FM3 because you don't actually have to work on the venue's power. You can just use the internal battery. So that's kind of cool. Of course, if the venue's power goes out, so is the PA and, you know, all your power amps and all the rest of the crap. So there is that. But yeah, you could definitely use your MacBook Air to do your live gigging, and it's going to give you super amounts of flexibility. And the great thing is you can also, you know, surf the web, do your emails, and maybe play, you know, Knights of the Old Republic on it as well before the show. Try doing that with your FM3. Go ahead. Oh, wait. Wise ass.
Get Machine on the show, the one with the short hair.
Oh, actually, I'm happy to report, yes, I bumped into Machine at NAMM, and I mentioned the idea of having him come on the show, and we're definitely going to do that. We're going to do another episode of Behind the Mix. I had Paul Lonnie on that episode. The first episode that we did, we talked about Megadeth's Peace Sills, and talked with Machine. We're going to talk about doing some Lamb of God stuff, so that's something you guys would really like to see. Let me know in the comments below. I think it'd be a really cool episode, and Machine's, just a super nice dude. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, so let me know if that's something you'd like to see. All right, everybody, this episode is sponsored by my company, Spectre Digital. It's our once a year massive markdown sale. It's our Canada Day sale. We've got most of our stuff going for half off, including all of my courses, like total heavy guitar, mixing symphonic folk metal, as well as mixing metal with free plugins. I've got all those courses, plus the cock blocker. Everything's going for half off. All of Scott Elliott's courses are going for half off as well, including Guitar Tone Mastery, which is like my absolute favorite course ever, and his new one, Metal Drum Programming Mastery as well. So definitely check that out. We've got all his bundles going for half off too. Plus we've got super deep discounts going on for Henning Pauly's stuff, his complete guide to program drums and all the add-ons for that, the 70s one, the 80s one, classic rock drums, and as well as pedal tone licks. Definitely want to check this out. The sale is going to end of day, 4th of July, but it's starting today on July 1st because it's Canada Day, and we actually respect personal freedom in this country. Hooray! That's something worth celebrating. Anyway, sale's only going to be on for a couple days, so if you want to get your hands on some absolutely stunning courses, especially when it comes to drum programming, we've got everything on sale. It's only going to last a couple days, so grab it now while you can. And now it's time for everybody's favorite part of the show, the Butthurt of the Week.
Oh, goody. Another I hate Gibson and love YouTube views video.
Oh, man. I'm doing YouTube for the views? Holy shit, they're on to me. What will I ever do? The thing is, though, I don't think I hate Gibson. I just hate their poor quality and their ethics. Oh, hang on. Yeah, I guess I do hate Gibson, don't I?
Gibson fans are the absolute worst! And I'm from Kalamazoo, too. As a guitar salesman, I can definitely say that, though it's easy to trick them into a sale.
Yes, I'm pretty sure it would be. Ooh, legacy brand. Look, it's like the Harley Davidson of guitars. Kids will think you're cool. Sign here. Don't remember, guys, most importantly, if you're playing authentic, that's going to make you a better guitar player. Oh, I shouldn't laugh. Yes, I should.
I'm sure this is an unbiased review. YouTubers trying to promote their affiliate links. I wouldn't be so sure Thomann isn't paying them also.
Well, Steve24, you never clued us into how you're making a living, but, I never get tired of people telling me how I can make money online. I really do appreciate the career advice. Really cool. Here's the thing. Yeah, this is $264. So yeah, even if I am pushing an affiliate link, I'm not making any fucking money because it's so cheap. Did you try doing some basic math, genius? What the fuck? All I can say is, for a beginner guitar, if you want a spare stage guitar or something like that, you really can't go wrong with one of these. Great hardware, sounds great. What's not to love? Oh, but you're not playing authentic. Yeah, well, you're an authentic idiot.
It's ridiculous to compare this with a proper SG. God, man, LOL.
Yeah, you're right. It is ridiculous to compare this $269 Harley Benton to a full-on SG, because this guitar stays in tune.
Dude, your chops are improving at an alarming rate. It's staggering to see the constant and vast improvements from video to video. What does your practice routine consist of? You're doing something very right within it, and the rest of us aren't even addressing, and I want to know exactly what it is.
Oh, thank you very much, man. I really do appreciate that. I will say this. I am playing a lot of guitar, and I've seemed to have gone through a bit of a breakthrough over the last couple weeks. It just has a lot to do with just running scales and whatnot when I'm watching Netflix or something like that, so I'm not wasting time, and I'm building up the muscles. The other thing is I've noticed I've got a giant muscle ball right here, right at the elbow that I didn't used to have, and that's just because of constant practicing. I've changed up my pick technique, but I've also done a couple things when it comes to finger efficiency, I guess the word would be. I think I'm going to have to do a dedicated episode on this subject, and just show you guys, 3 things that I'm working on that really have improved my guitar playing like vastly over the last 2 years. Like I said, it's kind of come to a head over the last couple months where I'm like, okay, I can start to play with a little bit of confidence now. So yeah, dedicated episode on that coming soon. So make sure you subscribe for that one.
I I just don't get the over-the-top acting. Dude, you're 55.
I'm 51, asshole! Oh, I always appreciate that too. Yeah, you know what? Hey, I got a better idea. Let's do it your way, because that's going to make for a great show. Hey guys, welcome back to my show. This is the Harley Benton SG type guitar. It's got a dual cutaway. The paint's pretty good. It's got Tesla pickups. Stays in tune pretty well. I think you should check it out. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Yeah, great idea for a show! Wow, I'm sure everybody's gonna watch that. Fuck's sakes.
Why did you ditch the RME for a Focusrite? Is there a video in which you discuss this?
No, I still haven't done that. That's the only video I've done so far on the Focusrite has been an unboxing one. I'm waiting on a desktop controller and give you guys the full rundown. I've been waiting for a while for that. But yes, I've been running the, where the hell is it here? Focusrite Red 16 line back there. It's a phenomenal piece of kit. Basically, I got it because it has more analog ins and outs, and I've got a lot of outboard all over the studio. I've got a giant rack over here with just loaded with gear that I need to get in and out of. And don't get me wrong, I absolutely adore the RME stuff. No complaints whatsoever, but it only had like 8 analog outs, whereas the Red 16 line has 16 analog outs. And it's kind of important that I be able to demo my outboard gear one way or another. And to make that happen, I need more ins and outs. So yeah, no complaints about the RME, but if you've got a crap ton of outboard gear, you need to expand.
Praising presets is a weird move from someone who has complained multiple times about everyone sounding the same and nobody daring to develop their own style.
Yes! Well, if you had actually paid attention to that video, I'd said that's a wonderful jumping off point and a great place to learn. The thing about presets is you use them when you're starting out, but you don't continue to use them once you learn what the fuck to do. How the hell did that point get lost on you? Would you please fucking pay attention? Seriously. Yes, presets suck in the long run, but if you're learning, they're a great place to fucking learn. I don't know, maybe learn to pay attention. Just a thought. Fuck. The thing is, and again, I guess you missed the point here because you were too busy typing in to sound like the smart guy, is, yeah, Mark Lewis's program there will work great, but it's not going to sound the same if you're using a real drummer because the kick drum's going to be different. The snare's going to be different. The cymbals are going to be different right from the get-go. Oh, never considered that. It's not like you're applying this stuff to drum samples. You're still using a real fucking person playing a real fucking instrument. I'm sorry I didn't make that clear for you. Maybe next time I need to put down some bullet points so you can get it through your thick fucking skull. But please continue to comment to sound so you can sound off like the smart guy. I always appreciate that.
Is there an interface that just works on PC?
Man, that's a good fucking question because usually you've got to go through the whole driver install routine and go through a bunch of crap to get it to work and play with it. And it's like, we were supposed to have plug and play, 20 years ago? And in my experience on Windows anyway, it really doesn't work that well. You can't really just plug it in and have it work. And that is the great thing about, the Mac OS is because you can just plug shit in and it's going to work because everything has to be class compliant. And so in one respect, that definitely makes this a superior operating system if you need to get shit done and not have any glitches or anything like that. And that's one of the reasons this studio switched from PC to Mac, because I need to make content and I can't afford to have downtime fucking around with driver installs or Windows updates or any of that kind. I need to work, period.
What does it sound like if you play slowly with far fewer notes? Like good real heavy metal used to sound half a century ago?
So we're back on the Bogren One Knob. Dude, it's a free download to try out. If you're that curious, I'd say go check it out over at Bogren Digital. Download it and try it out for yourself and see how you like it. You got nothing to lose.
These darn kids got all the cool sounds handed to them these days. I remember twisting knobs on a pathetic Gorilla amp back in the mid-1980s wondering what the fuck was going on.
Yeah, I think a lot of us back in the 80s started out with those shitty little Gorilla amps. You know what? They sounded terrible, but they were fun and they were fucking loud. I had like a little 85 watt with a 10-inch speaker, and it was fun for about a year until I discovered what real tone was, and I was like, fuck, why doesn't my amp sound like this? And then became a lifelong quest for a better guitar sound. Anyway, yeah, I hear where you're going with that. Yes, the kids definitely have it better these days when it comes to starting out. Again, the Bogren's great because you can just plug in, turn it up, and it's going to give you the fucking sound. It does the thing, and it does it really, really well. You don't have to fuck with it. So if you want to write songs or you want to record something, like a demo for your bandmates or whatnot, yeah, check it out. You got nothing to lose, and it sounds fucking killer.
I'm offended by your t-shirt.
You know, that's the great thing about being offended is nobody actually gives a shit, and it's not like it's a fucking achievement or something like that. Oh, you're offended? Achievement unlocked. No, fuck off. Nobody gives a shit. You're offended? You know what? Wear a fucking helmet. Anyway, guys, that's it for this episode. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to drop by Spectre Digital and take advantage of our incredible Canada Day sale. Hope you all have a happy Canada Day weekend and appreciate the freedom that you still have. I'll see you guys back here again for another episode of Viewers Comments. As always, keep those comments and questions coming because I love hearing from you, and a lot of your comments are very, very entertaining for the rest of us. Anyway, I'll see you back again. We got some cool stuff coming up on the show in the meantime, and until then, Hasadiga Ibawai.